The night is holding its breath. Somewhere above the turning world, a quiet moon hangs suspended in a sky too deep for words. You can feel it, can't you? That strange stillness in the air, as if everything around you knows something is about to begin. The air moves differently tonight. Slower, more deliberate, carrying whispers that are not quite sound but still reach your skin like memory. The sky seems alive, almost waiting. There is no coincidence that you are here, listening, just before midnight. The universe has been building to this moment, not by chance, but by rhythm. Every choice, every ache, every question you've carried in silence has led you right here. You were meant to arrive at this threshold in time, when the veil between what you know and what you are yet to remember becomes thin enough to pass through. So pause. Feel the pulse of the sky as it matches your own. Somewhere inside this darkness, something ancient is preparing to speak. The message is not rushing toward you. It has been waiting for you to be still enough to hear. And maybe that's why the universe whispers instead of shouting. Because whispers are only heard by those who are ready. November 5th. The calendar reads like any other date, yet the air hums differently, doesn't it? This night is marked not by superstition, but by symmetry. The silent geometry of celestial bodies moving in ways they rarely do. The moon, patient and faithful, has reached a rare alignment, and though science might name it orbit or angle, the soul knows it as timing. There are nights when the sky simply decorates itself, and there are nights when it communicates. Tonight is the latter. You can almost sense it in your heartbeat, a kind of resonance between you and the infinite. Imagine the moon as a breathing being, expanding and contracting light, pulling tides and memories alike. You are part of that breath. Every sigh, every pause, every pulse within you echoes something vast and wordless above. Time doesn't move in straight lines here. It circles, it returns, it calls. This isn't astrology or chance. This is a conversation. The question is, will you answer before midnight passes? The wind shifts again. It's subtle, a brush across your face, a cool exhale through unseen trees, but something in it carries meaning. Beneath its current, a whisper rises, low and trembling, too alive to be imagined. It's the voice of the unseen, maybe the universe, maybe your higher self, maybe the countless echoes of what you've once been. It speaks not in language but in feeling. A tingle in the palms, a tightening behind the ribs, a sudden awareness that you are being watched, not by eyes, but by energy. Every sound around you, the faint rustle of air, the breath of the world, feels coded, intentional, guiding you inward. The message is beginning to reach you now, not through words, but through vibration. You might notice your thoughts slowing, your senses sharpening, as though something inside you is tuning itself to a frequency it has not heard in a long time. The wind does not lie. It has carried the stories of ages, the grief of oceans, the prayers of stars. Tonight, it carries yours too. Look toward the sky. See how the moon hides a part of herself behind a thin veil of cloud, as if keeping a secret too powerful for daylight to hold. There is something in her half-shadow that mirrors your own, the side of yourself that you show, and the side that remains unseen. The light that reaches you is not full, yet it is enough. It always has been. The reflection of the moon trembles across the dark water below, breaking and reforming with every ripple. It's beautiful and imperfect, exactly as you are. The narrator inside your mind whispers, "What are you afraid to see in your own reflection?" For the moon does not fear her darkness. She carries it gracefully, letting her shadow teach the stars how to shine. Perhaps that's why the universe sent this message now, because it's time for you to stop hiding from your own light. The unseen face of the moon is not absence, it is memory. It is where everything luminous begins. So here we are, at the edge of revelation. The night has opened its lungs, and the wind breathes with you. The message is moving closer. There's a tremor beneath stillness, a pulse beneath silence, as if the cosmos itself is drawing near, ready to speak through your own heart. The energy thickens. Midnight is not just a moment on the clock, it is an inner crossing. You stand before it now, surrounded by 1,000 invisible threads of light waiting to weave themselves through your consciousness. The question hums again. Will you hear before the clock strikes? The answer is already forming, rising through your breath, waiting at the tip of your awareness. And as you breathe into the quiet, something inside you whispers back, I am listening. The night deepens, and the pulse of the universe grows louder. You can almost feel it beneath your skin now, a rhythm that does not belong to time but to presence itself. The world has entered that fragile hour where silence feels alive, the kind of silence that is not empty, but full. It holds its breath with you. The ticking of unseen clocks echoes in your mind, not as noise, but as a reminder. The countdown is not just happening around you, it is happening within. The heart begins to thrum like a drum under starlight, keeping time with the heavens. Each beat whispers, it's closer now. It's almost here. And you begin to realize that the approaching midnight is not a deadline, but a door. It is the crossing point between what has been sleeping inside you and what is ready to awaken. The wind rises again, colder, sharper, carrying with it a frequency you can almost taste. It hums through your body, through every memory you've tried to forget, through every prayer you've never spoken out loud. This is the countdown of the heart, where time and emotion collide, where the outer sky becomes a mirror for the inner self. As you breathe, you feel the first tremors of something immense, a subtle but undeniable shift. The great realignment has begun. It's as if the entire cosmos exhales, releasing all that no longer serves, all that no longer vibrates with truth. Above you, the moon glows brighter, surrounded by faint halos of shifting color. You can almost sense currents of energy moving through space, unseen rivers connecting stars, weaving light through the fabric of consciousness. The narrator in your mind no longer speaks in words but in sensations. Warmth behind your eyes, electricity crawling along your spine, the feeling that the boundary between body and universe is dissolving. You are not separate from what's happening tonight. You are the event itself, the alignment, the awakening, the mirror. The old frequencies are fading like echoes in the distance, and something purer, something clearer, is taking their place. The very air seems to shimmer with meaning. Every molecule vibrates with intention, whispering, you were made for this exact moment. And yet, as the energy expands, a strange nostalgia rises. It's soft, bittersweet, a feeling of remembering something vast and ancient. You can't name it, but it feels familiar, like the scent of rain in a place you once called home. This is the echo of forgotten light, the return of something you lost long ago. The narration becomes more intimate now, as though the voice inside you is no longer speaking to you, but as you. You've been here before, it says, in lives uncounted, in skies unremembered. You felt this vibration before you had a name. And with that realization comes a calm knowing. This is not your first awakening, only your most conscious one. The moonlight seems to carry the faces of those who came before you. Ancestors, guides, fragments of soul from every age, all shimmering at the edge of perception. They do not speak, but they radiate understanding, and their silence feels like belonging. Every cell in your body begins to hum with remembrance. You are not small. You are the continuation of something infinite, breathing through temporary form. But as the remembrance deepens, so does resistance. Doubt slithers in through cracks of reason, whispering that this might all be imagination, that you might be chasing light that isn't really there. The moon dims behind a passing cloud, and for a heartbeat, everything feels cold. The veil trembles. The silence that once comforted you now feels heavy, almost oppressive. Your mind stirs with questions. What if I'm wrong? What if there is nothing waiting on the other side of midnight? It's the old fear returning for one last breath. The wind stills. The world seems to hold itself in suspension. Even your heartbeat feels uncertain. But then, through that uncertainty, another voice rises, softer, deeper, unmistakably real. It says, doubt is the shadow of awakening. You only question what you are about to understand. And with those words, something breaks open inside you. You exhale, and with that breath, the heaviness begins to dissolve. You realize that belief is not a decision, it is a surrender. You don't have to force yourself to believe, you only have to stop resisting what's already reaching for you. The clouds begin to drift apart again. The moon emerges, brighter than before, as though it too had been waiting for your release. Light spills across the landscape, touching everything, water, earth, skin, with a softness that feels like mercy. The message continues to move closer, invisible yet unmistakable, like a wave rising from behind the horizon. The ticking of time is gone now. What remains is rhythm, not of minutes or hours, but of energy. Midnight is near, and the air hums with readiness. You can feel it in your bones, in the quiet expansion behind your breath. Something is about to cross over, and you are standing in the perfect still point to receive it. The veil no longer feels like separation. It feels like invitation. The universe leans in closer, whispering your name not as sound, but as vibration. You realize now that the message isn't about what's coming. It's about what's unfolding inside you. You are not waiting for midnight. Midnight is waiting for you. Midnight draws near. You can feel it before you see it. The world taking one deep, collective breath, the air tightening with anticipation as if creation itself knows that something sacred is about to occur. Every heartbeat within you now feels like the ticking of an unseen clock, not a mechanical one, but a pulse that belongs to the rhythm of the cosmos. The veil that once separated the seen and the unseen begins to shimmer, translucent and trembling, and you understand that you are standing in a place that isn't quite earth and isn't quite sky. The ordinary dissolves. The shadows grow still as though watching, and then, without sound or announcement, midnight's threshold opens. The moon, at its highest point, bursts into fullness, casting light so pure it silvers the world. You stand beneath it, breath suspended, eyes wide, skin alive with the hum of presence. There is no division now between you and the sky. You are not observing the moment. You are the moment. The message that has been building all night, through silence and wind and memory, finally enters you like breath. It isn't a sentence, not even a voice. It's a knowing, a current of truth that floods your consciousness with warmth so vast that you tremble from the inside out. And within that tremble, a realization arrives. You have always been connected to this light. You were never waiting to be chosen. You were remembering that you already were. The world does not speak in language, but it communicates with exquisite clarity. Every particle of air, every flicker of reflection, seems to whisper the same thing. This is the frequency of surrender. You do not have to understand it. You only have to allow it. The moment you stop reaching and simply open, something extraordinary happens. The energy that once felt external now begins to flow through you. You can feel it threading through your chest, rising through the spine, circling around your heart like a spiral of calm fire. The urgency that carried you here transforms into serenity. There is no fear left, no anticipation, no need to grasp. There is only a vast stillness, soft and luminous. The moonlight no longer blinds, it soothes. It doesn't command, it embraces. You breathe into the silence, and the silence breathes back. Somewhere deep in that quiet, you hear the message clearly for the first time. The light you seek has always lived inside you. It wasn't hidden, only waiting for you to stop looking elsewhere. You realize then that this whole night, this entire journey, has been about remembering that the external sky is only a reflection of your internal one. The stars, the wind, the shifting moon, they are mirrors of your own unfolding. Slowly, the energy settles. The tides of your emotions ebb into still water. It feels as though the entire universe has taken a deep exhale, and you are resting in that breath. This is the silence beyond sound, the place where truth doesn't need to be spoken because it simply is. Your awareness expands outward and inward at once. You can sense the rhythm of the earth beneath your feet, the distant heartbeat of galaxies far beyond human sight, and both feel intimately familiar. You are the bridge between them, human and infinite, small and boundless. The narrator's voice in your mind has grown faint now, almost indistinguishable from your own thoughts. Every sound has slowed, the wind has become a sigh, the night creatures whisper softer, even your heartbeat seems to stretch into eternity. You are aware, completely and gently aware. The veil that once separated you from the divine has become transparent. The universe is not something outside you anymore. It is moving within your breath, flowing through your cells, pulsing in time with your heartbeat. Stay here. Let this feeling expand without fear. Notice how calm it feels to not chase anything, to not ask for answers, to not measure yourself against time. The stars above you begin to pulse faintly, each one a living note in a song older than creation. You realize that this moment, this union between stillness and light, is what every prayer has ever sought. The answers, the healing, the guidance, they are not waiting in the future, they are radiating from this present awareness. The message was never about warning or prediction, it was about arrival. You have arrived. You are awake. The light from the moon now feels less like something shining upon you and more like something emerging from within, meeting itself halfway. And in this meeting, everything finds its place. The pieces of your life, your choices, your pain, all of it aligns with a soft, wordless understanding that nothing was ever wasted. Every shadow existed to teach you how to see light. Every delay was divine timing, preparing you to receive what you could not before. You begin to sense dawn approaching, though the sky is still dark. The energy around you has changed, softer now, grounded, yet somehow infinite. The voice within you murmurs one last truth as the lunar glow starts to wane. The message was never about what's coming. It was about what's already waking within you. The moon begins to descend, but its radiance lingers in your chest. You feel it there, steady, unwavering, as the first faint sigh of morning brushes against the horizon. There is peace now. The kind of peace that comes not from certainty, but from trust. The kind that doesn't need to hold on, because it finally understands that nothing real can be lost. You stand beneath the fading silver light, and your heart whispers the only prayer that remains, thank you. And in that whisper, the universe answers, silently, as dawn prepares to breathe again. Dawn is not here yet, but something inside you already knows it's coming. The air feels lighter now, almost translucent, as if the entire world has been rinsed in quiet. You are still standing in the residue of moonlight, surrounded by the faint echo of everything that has happened tonight. The whispers, the wind, the shimmer of unseen forces. Yet the energy has shifted, it no longer presses against you. It moves through you freely without resistance. You are part of the rhythm now. You inhale and the night exhales. You exhale, and the stars seem to pulse a little brighter before they fade. The alignment that began in the heavens has completed its circle within you. The message has done its work, not by filling your mind with explanations, but by untying the knots that once kept your heart guarded. There is a serenity in this emptiness, not the cold kind that isolates, but the spacious kind that welcomes everything in. The silence feels like home. It stretches wide, soft, endless. In this stillness, you realize that the message never really ended. It simply became you. You are the living continuation of what the universe was trying to say. The moon hangs low now, her edges softening against the horizon. Her brightness has gentled into a silvery hush, as if she too is preparing to rest. The wind carries the faint scent of change, dew on the grass, the first warmth of a hidden sunrise. You close your eyes, and for a moment you can hear the earth itself breathing. Every living thing, every root and leaf, every hidden creature, seems to pulse with the same rhythm. You've crossed something invisible tonight, a line between forgetting and remembering, between seeking and being. This is what when the moon breathes again truly means: the renewal of all that has been still, the awakening of everything that has been silent. You are no longer standing at the threshold, you are walking beyond it, guided not by light alone, but by the deep knowing that light now lives within you. There is no fear of darkness because you've learned that darkness is only unspoken potential, waiting for someone brave enough to listen. You take one last look at the fading sky. The stars are thinning, but they don't feel gone. They feel like blessings returning to their source. Somewhere in that quiet transition, you can feel the subtle hum of the universe acknowledging you. A nod, a pulse, a recognition that the alignment was successful. You've received the message, and in doing so, you've become part of the message itself. The frequency that surrounded you now flows outward, carried on every breath you take. You are transmitting peace without even trying, reminding the world in silence that awakening does not always come with thunder, sometimes it comes with stillness. You feel lighter now, but not empty, more like spaciousness filled with light. The body relaxes, the heart opens, and the mind, for once, does not demand to know what comes next. It simply watches, content, as night turns toward morning. The narrator inside you, that quiet voice that has walked beside you through every shadow of this night, begins to fade, not because it has nothing left to say, but because it has merged with your own awareness. You don't need its guidance anymore. The understanding has rooted itself in you. You are enough light to guide yourself. The message, the alignment, the urgency that once pressed like a pulse against your ribs, it all dissolves into the calm rhythm of your breath. And somewhere within that breath, you feel gratitude rising, not as words, but as warmth. Gratitude for the night, for the silence, for the fact that the universe thought of you at all, that it arranged stars and time and light just so this message could reach you before midnight. You understand now, it was never about cosmic warning or prediction. It was about remembrance. You were always meant to hear it, exactly when you did. The horizon glows faintly, a promise more than a sight. The first thin strands of dawn stretch like golden breath across the edges of the world. The moon begins her descent, carrying your old energy away with her, back into the cycles of renewal. Everything that once felt heavy dissolves into the morning air. You stand still, watching, letting the silence carry you toward day. You realize that even though the night is ending, nothing has truly ended. The energy you touched still vibrates quietly within you, a note that will keep echoing long after this moment fades. You don't need to hold on to it, it's already become part of who you are. You have been rewired by light, redefined by presence. The sky doesn't look different, and yet everything does. The boundaries have softened. Life feels wider, more forgiving, more alive. And as the final shimmer of moonlight gives way to the pale blush of dawn, you hear one last whisper move through the quiet. Midnight has passed, but the message continues. It beats gently in your pulse, hums softly in your breath. You don't just remember the message, you carry it now, like a hidden flame that can never be extinguished. Wherever you walk, whatever unfolds next, the light of this night walks with you. It will surface in moments of stillness, in sudden peace, in the way your heart steadies when you choose love over fear. And when you lift your eyes to the sky again, days or months from now, you'll remember this feeling, not the words, not the imagery, but the vibration that lived between them. The truth that you are part of the same breath the moon takes, that your heart beats in rhythm with the stars. The message reached you. The alignment is complete. And now, as the world awakens, the universe whispers its final blessing. If you felt it, the universe felt you too.